Thank you for this opportunity to highlight some of the features in the Rise School Management program. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good stuff. All right, the first feature that I want to share with you is the learner attendance screen. And the way we go to the learner attendance is we click on school, then we select attendance, and we click the create button. We make sure that the date and period is correct. We select the term and the class, and we click the fill in button. Note that by default, everybody is marked present. So what the teacher does is just marks those that are absent, and it's much easier to do that. And that is how we do the learner attendance. Also, I just want to add that the learner attendance can be done from the Communicator app.
0.3.
Quite easy. All right, the next feature is incidents. Let me just close this down. And the incidents we get under school again. So we click school and we select incidents under the behavior section. Click the create button. Again, make sure that your data is correct. We select the educator, the class, and here we select students. We can select more than one student. I'll show you that. Select. And then we go down to the transgressions. Note the demerit system. So each transgression gets weighted with a point system. Let me just add another transgression and note that it tallies the transgressions. This you obviously then post and close. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to add those transgressions to our students. So let me just close this down here. The next feature is to update the learner record with a guardian. Click again on school and we go down to student. Click on create and here's our list of students. Obviously, we have to have our class, list our class. We can also search for students, but I'll just select one by double clicking on a student. And here we go. So here's the contact button. We click contact and you'll see another, a few fields displayed, and this we fill in over there. Once again, I'm not going to save this. So I'll just close that down there. Right, the financial module. I must say, Anna, that this is really a plus for the Rise School Management System, because I've seen this as a added module with other systems, and it's quite costly. So it's a real plus to see this included in your package. And the way we do school statements or generate school statements is we click on sales, and then we select statements. We click the create button. Make sure that your period is correct. So this is from 1 April to 30 April. Your balances are greater than 0. The grade here selected is grade 1. And let's look at the students for that grade. We can generate statements for all of these students, but I think just for display and demonstration purposes, we're going to generate that statement. Let's select that statement. And here you see the report or the statement. It's a statement that can be customized. You can add your logo and, of course, fields and move fields around. So it's quite nice. The other feature here is that we can email a statement, and this obviously saves on paper. Let me just show you this as well. Obviously, the print option is there, but I want to show you that we're able to select obviously more than one, and email. And here you can see the email addresses are unique to a record or to a student. Click the send button and off the statements will be emailed. Then the next feature is assigning a payment in the bank stream. Now, to do this, I'm going to generate the 043 form first. So we go to school, and under the reports section, we select the 043 form. Let's run this report. Okay, I want you to note these figures here, the net income, and they are going to change when we assign a payment. So what we do now is we click on bank and the bank stream. Right, here we have some payments. I must also mention that the Rise School Management System is affiliated to 4 major banks, so there won't be a problem to import the CSV file from these 4 banks. Right, here let's look at a payment. So we look at, let's choose this payment here. So we click to match the payment, and we select a student. Let's select that student over there. We can see he's got 900 Rand as an invoice. There we go. Match him. Approve. You can see it brings in the name of that student. We do that. Approve it. You could see that it was approved. Now let's go back to our bank stream to see if that record is updated here. There we see. So now you can see it updates and links directly to the 043. The feature budget plan versus actual needs, and the accounts receivable aging. Anna, I think you're going to be doing that. So I will then move on to the marks module. The marks module we find under school, and then we select progress reports, which is under the marks heading. Right, we click on create. Make sure that you select your grade. I think it was grade 7 that we worked with. Click full list. And here is all your progress reports. We can say generate the progress reports. Let's look at one progress report. So you can see the layout once again, with the school's badge can go in there. We can put extra fields in and customize it so that it looks good according to your need. You'll see the marks gets carried through. This here once again can be emailed or printed, saving paper when we email, obviously. Then we're going to look at the feature to generate the merit list and promotion schedule. But let me just close down some of these tabs here so that, right, close these down. You can also see, by the way, at the bottom here, it's easy to access the different screens as you work with it. Right, to generate the merit list, we click on school, and we then go to the reports section, and we click on merit list. Merit list. There we go. Make sure that your period is correct. We just select period. That's how easy it is. The grade is there, and we say run report. This report, once again, can be changed. Colors can be changed. So it also can be customized. Then the next one is the promotion schedule, and that we do under school again. and we select promotion schedule under the reports section. There we go. Make sure again that your period is correct. We just select the period, say select, and say run report. Okay, that's the report. Let me just see if I can generate a print preview here.
It's just a number.
There we go. That's it. There we go. So that is your promotion schedule. Now we're going to move over to the section of the communicator. I must add that the communicator app is very handy. I was looking at it the other day again, where it just gives the teacher a lot of possibility and access when it comes to incidents and also, like I said, the attendance register. What we're going to do now is, and then also with the communicator, the teacher's able to create news for the grade or for the class. So that is an excellent tool. Right, if you look here, we say, it says here, a parent is phoning to query an outstanding balance. So the way we can assist that parent is we click on school again. We go to the student. And let's say we search for a student here. I know that this student has got some information in it. Sorry, my keyboard is taking a bit long. Sorry. Okay. I think it was this one here. Let's double click on the student. And we go to the document journal. And here we can see the financial history of the student and the payments that we assigned to the invoicing on the student or this record. Right, then the other option, then the other feature is to go to the, to show you the alert function on the communicator, on the news. Here we go to school and we create under the school communicator news. And this, just wait for it. Let's say create. And this little tick box here, all that it does is it changes the color on the news item that you're posting. So let's just do that. You see that? It changes the color to red. So what happens is that when this message is seen on the communicator, the parent knows that it is a message of attention. Okay, we see that. I'm not going to post that, so I'm just going to close that. Yeah, so that I think we covered everything. Anna, over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for the presentation. Really appreciate it. All right, so from my side, if you could just stop sharing, Warren.
Okay, I'll stop sharing. There we go.
Thank you. And from my side, I will just show you the 2 points that we still need to cover. So the first one is the budget plan versus actual. So what happens here is when the school basically joins the program, your approved budget will be imported to the system, and this will basically allow you to run your budget planned versus actual in real time. So I go to accounting and I go to the budget plan versus actual. And what it shows you here, you see you have your budget column, and these are all your budgeted amounts with your accounts. So this is school specific. So basically the accounts also get created for every school. And then what you do here, you just look and you can see that that's your budget. Let's say, for instance, stationery. That's your budget, 7,000, and your actual is 76,000 is your budget. Your actual is this amount. So it shows you if you're over your budget or under your budget. As you can see, in this case, we are very much under the budget and we're still on track. If you would like to look in a bit more detail, all the reports are drilled down. So you can just click on any amount, any transaction, and the system will take you there so that you can look in detail what is actually happening, should you need to. You can also drill down and you can even see the transaction itself. So if you want to look at this specific payment, you just click and you can see, okay, that was for this specific service, that is the company, and so on. The next thing that is on the list is the accounts receivable aging. What it is, I'm just showing you also here so that you can search for anything that you need to. So I'm just typing in. It basically brings all your learners and it shows you what the balances are at the moment. So the whole history. You can also take it out from the system in Excel. And basically our accountant will show you also how to maybe change it if you need to have it in a slightly different format. But this gives you an opportunity just to see, you know, who is paying and what are the outstanding balances and so on and so forth. So that's for the whole school. So all your learners will reflect here and all the payments, the whole history will reflect here. All right, and before we take questions, just a few words from my side. So there was a question about what is this system, what is it called, and what does it do? So the system is called RISE School Management, and this system is specifically was developed together with schools to assist schools in their daily processes that are crucial for various parts of your basically operations. This system is, you know, one of the few systems that has an accounting package that integrates with your admin staff. So admin meaning, you know, your learner data, it's all here. And when I say integrated, it means that as a bursar, you can access your outstanding balances just at a click. You can see the full history. It's all in one place. So it basically saves you time and resources, and it allows you to avoid duplication. The other thing is that every learner in the system will have its own records. So when you actually track your incidents, your marks, you will be able to see it under these tabs. So discipline and marks. Once you actually start tracking it and creating incidents and marks, it will just show in one place. So that's in a nutshell what RISE School Management is about. And it is the first system that also automates your O43. So just like Warren was showing, as you work in the system, your payments will reflect automatically here. And this allows you to save time and basically, you know, spend that time on other important tasks, possibly debt collection or many other things that, you know, many bursars and admin staff need to do basically on a daily basis. So that is another thing. And in terms of, you know, the implementation and how does it work, what is the process, we always try to make sure that there is a clear understanding how this system can assist you and how it can improve your current processes, you know, if there is such a need. So we work with various schools, you know, it's your Model C schools as well as schools, you know, of lower quantiles. And the feedback is that basically the system assists them with having everything in one place. You know, it saves a lot of time and also it allows to access important information quickly and basically, you know, report to your SGB and principal just at a click of a button. So with the subscription fee, you know, we include a lot of assistance, which is called onboarding. And this is your implementation. This is to make sure that, you know, your historical information, all the information is in the system, and you can start using the system as soon as possible. That is, of course, not to say that, you know, it's always, as they say, it takes two, you know, in terms of teamwork. So, you know, if the school is basically on track and provides the documents and does the training, so it works very well. These are obviously obvious things, but just to basically as a reminder. And we often get asked, you know, what is the cost? So the cost will depend basically on what your school requires, because there are several options. So there is an option just to use the communicator on its own, which basically just on its own can save you from 10 to 15,000 rand a year just on paper, and, you know, having basically your communication in one place. There is also an option just to use the accounting package, which is integrated with your learner data and the O43 and all your reports. There is also an option to use an admin package, which will then enable you to use the learner data, the attendance, the incidents, the marks, as well as the communicator. And then there is also an option for the all-in-one, which includes then all of these modules in one place. So in terms of, you know, if you look at the value that the school gets out of the system versus your investment, the feedback that we get is that they save quite a bit of money, because it is basically one system and you don't need to run 3 or 4 systems at the same time, which can come at a high cost. And of course, you know, sorry, just a second. I'm just going to mute, apologies for that, so that we can just hear. Thank you for your understanding, and I'm going to be done soon, and then we can also have some space and a platform for asking questions. Okay, so yes, and of course now during the COVID times, you know, when it's quite a difficult time for many schools, and what we also try to do is, if your school is of a lower quintile, or if it's a no fee paying school, so we have some schools like that, we can just look at your case, and if you think that the system can assist you, we can also look at how to accommodate you within your budget, basically to make sure that it can work for you. Because we often get asked, you know, what if my school can't afford it? So, but of course, you know, it's always good. Communication is the key. So it's always good to basically make it possible, maybe set up a short, brief meeting just for your principal, if he's not present, or your bursar, to see how the system works, so that they understand and they actually, and just to hear their feedback, what they think about it, if they think that it can assist the school. Thank you so much for your attention. And I can see that some of our current schools are present today. So that's great to see. And I think that's it from my side. I'm just going to see if you have any questions. And if you would like to actually ask a question, you can just unmute your microphone and just say it out loud. Thank you.
Hi, Anna. It's Trudy from La Rochelle Girls Primary.
Yes. Hi.
I'm very interested in the package, and I was having a look that you said that all students are put on singularly. I also noticed on the left-hand side that there was a family button. So in other words, can you link a couple of children to one family so that only one statement gets sent out?
Exactly. So when the school onboards, some schools will have family codes, which I presume is the case with your school. Am I correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes. So then what happens is that the family codes will be imported together with other learners' information, and it will basically pool. So it will show you the guardian and then all the siblings under that family code. With regards to the statements, I'm not sure actually if it sends one statement. I can check with our accountant, but I'm 100% sure that family codes, are basically in the system, and it works in a way that it pulls, you know, your whole family under one family code. So you can even search, you know, for that specific family code, and it will show you all your learners under that one. I hope that this answers your question.
Yeah, basically, it's just that when you were allocating payments, is it an open item payment allocation? Because, you know, you may get parents that are paying for both children, but they're not paying the full amount. So that is why I'm asking, are the accounts allocated to a family? Because if it's not, how do you split the payments? Sorry, I don't mean to take all your time.
No, absolutely great. Yeah, no, I understand the question. That's a very good question. So in the bank stream, you have a split function, and you can basically split your payment between the siblings so that you know exactly for which sibling it is. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, it's a pleasure. Okay, I'm just going to check for the questions in our chat window. Okay, sorry, I missed the beginning. Which program is that? Okay, I think we've answered that. It's called RISE School Management. Then there is another question. Can the report cards be uploaded to SIMIS? So with regards to the marks, what we've been doing basically is, first of all, you can import your marks from your marks sheet. So the mark sheet that you use for inputting marks, and usually teachers do that. And you can literally just open that file in the RISE system and just import the marks, and the system will find your learners based on the SIMIS numbers, and the marks will be then in the system. The report cards. So the report cards can be also exported out of the system. And yeah, I think this will then enable you to work with that if you need to upload it into the SIMIS system. Then there's a next question. What is the cost for the all-in-one? So if possible, we could perhaps maybe just set up a very brief appointment with you just to hear exactly what your school needs, you know, what modules, you know, how many users. Also, we will look at your current setup and also the quantile of your school, and then we will be able to quote you based on these factors. I hope that this will be in order. All right, I see that there are more people joining. If you have more questions, you can just unmute your microphone and ask your question. Otherwise, what I actually wanted just to ask before I forget, Warren, if you can maybe just quickly share with others how you managed to get 95% of your parents that are in a disadvantaged community onto the app, if I may ask, if possible.
Okay, yes. What was a collaboration between the teachers and our IT. What we did was we took the link of the RISE Communicator app and then sent that on WhatsApp via the teacher groups, teacher parent groups, and send that off to the parents, and that we did over a few weeks, and asked parents to basically download the app and install it. We then slowly stopped the paper circulars and paper notices, and that's how we got people to just move over onto the electronic system. In addition to that, there was a lot of advertising, even on reports, on envelopes. When envelopes were printed, on the cover of the envelope, we would print the RISE Communicator link, and then also a QR code. So we try to make it as easy as possible for people to move over to that platform. It's been successful. I think it took us about maybe 4 months, which is not bad. We serve very poor communities. So for people to move over, I think it was quite successful in that space of time. That's how we did it, Anna.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. That's great to hear. And in terms of, when you actually create your updates, do you attach PDF files, or how do you go about this?
The way we do our notices and circulars is we've created a website, and on the website we've got a blog page. And so what we do is we publish our circulars and notices, and then with the communicator we create a link to the website. Now what this does is it minimizes the resources on the phone. Now, like I said, we serve poor communities and people don't have these expensive phones with lots of memory and processing power. So what happens is they see the message, they have a link, when they click it, they go to a website, a HTML page, instead of loading a PDF document or a heavy picture. So that is how we are using the communicator. It works very well, it's fast, and we have no complaints from parents. So the feedback is positive, Anna.
Mhm. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. That's great to hear. We often get asked how to get parents on board, as quickly as possible. And this is one example how it can be done in terms of the collaboration between your teachers and whoever is in charge, basically, of, bringing parents on board. And of course, many schools do use WhatsApp, but the feedback is that sometimes, first of all, because it's also your private space, it can be a bit intrusive in terms of getting your messages very late in the evening and basically being sort of feeling pressurized to always reply to the questions or whatever it may be that parents ask you. Whereas with the communicator, it gives you that space and control in terms of you actually posting everything on the communicator and also deciding if you would like a chat option or not. So as a school, you can decide if you want your parents to message you privately on the app. However, as I said, it's an option, it's not obligatory. So for some schools, it works very well because then parents can reach out to the admin staff member and basically ask the question. And the admin staff member, for instance, if they're not on their computer, they can just quickly see it on the phone and just, attend to that query. Whereas some other schools prefer not to enable this option for other reasons, So it just creates that also empowers schools to decide how to use it. And then, of course, with the updates, there is also events. So we try to improve the communicator and our system overall. And we, liaise with schools in terms of the feedback, and we try to incorporate it so that the system works 100%, for various types of schools, be it primary schools, high schools, even secondary schools. And basically with events, for instance, once you create an event, your parents will see it on the app and they can even indicate if they would like to attend, and they will also get a reminder before the event, things like that. They can like the event, they can like your post. So all these things we have incorporated as we go along and as we hear feedback from schools to make sure that there is that engagement, between parents and schools. All right, I'm just going to check the questions. And I see that there are new people coming through. We have covered the presentation, but perhaps maybe if you have questions, you can also type them in the chat window or also ask them out loud. It's up to you. Okay, so the question is there a monthly fee or it's a once-off payment purchase of the package? So there are two options. There is a once-off and there is also a monthly option. But as I have indicated previously, also maybe for the people who have just joined this presentation, it makes sense, if you feel that this system can assist you, it makes sense just to maybe set up a brief appointment between all your stakeholders, such as your principal, your finance team, possibly your admin staff, so that they can see how the system works and also maybe just share their feedback if it can assist them. It just helps, we believe that communication is the key, and, it helps to make sure that the system assists you, because obviously we don't want to waste your time, and we don't want to waste our time, because we allocate a lot of resources on our side to assist you with onboarding. We employ, a full-time accountant who works with schools, and she assists them with their questions, with their queries, and also very specific to schools things, because different schools do things differently. What I mean is, with regards to your exemptions or your specific accounts, like norms and standards, how to allocate it in the system and all of that. So she gives you that assistance. So it's always a good practice, before you go for the system, to make sure that you have a buy-in from your finance team, from your principal, from your admin staff, so that the implementation is successful. Because, as much as we assist schools with the onboarding and the input and the training, if your key stakeholders are not, on the ball, it won't work. And luckily, we had very few cases like that, but it is just my responsibility, to basically inform you about it, because just like with anything in life, as you know, it's basically, as they say, it takes two to tango. So we just make sure that you are informed about it, and that you realize that. Yeah. All right. If you have more questions, you can unmute your microphone. But otherwise, I don't have more basically to share today. So should you have more questions, what I will do is I will keep this meeting active, and I will just check in from time to time if you perhaps think of something. But otherwise, I think we're done for today. And thank you so much, Warren, for your input and for doing the presentation. It was very informative. And thank you everyone for coming today, and for listening and giving your feedback, and for the questions.
Thank you, Anna.
Okay, thanks so much. And as I have mentioned, you can always reach out to us via phone or email should you have questions, or should you want to maybe set up a brief appointment. But otherwise, thank you so much for attending this forum, and have a great day. And as I said, I will keep this meeting open for questions. Okay, it's a pleasure. Thank you.